What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Blue Collar Crypto Show. My name is Joe, better known as Dr. Byteball. And boy, Byteball really needs my attention today. I feel like I need to jump on this project and give some type of mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, get the defibrillator out, and really get to work here because holy shit, this market has been terrible. We were sitting up knocking on 0.08. I'm just going to call it 80 from now on. We're knocking on 80. And now we're sitting at what? 39, 40.04. What the hell? Exactly what happened. We got the news that the distribution was canceled. Well, I guess you can say to me that it's easy for me to criticize this decision in hindsight. It's easy for you to dismiss everything I'm about to say by going, well, you're making this video after the fact. You know what? You're damn right I'm making it after the fact because it's my obligation as a shareholder to look at this project and go, what is it doing right? What is it doing wrong? Because I have my money invested in it. And so it deserves my criticism. If I think it's doing something wrong, I'm going to say so. Now, do they care enough? Do I have enough shares to matter? Does it even matter? Who knows? But I'm putting it out there. Tony, Mr. Lead Developer, with all due respect, and I mean that sincerely. I don't mean it like most people do where they are about to insult you. Why did you cancel this distribution? What was necessary about that? You could have allowed it to go on, and then your announcement could have been, we're going to allow this distribution to go on as planned and have no future distributions in favor of everything you suggested in that post. And I can see that you may not have wanted to dedicate that part of the distribution, but by this point, you had a kind of obligation to the community, and an obligation not based on sort of like legal technicality, but on understanding the way human nature works. And let me break this down. So back in, what was it, like late November, early December, Tony, came to the community and said, we're probably going to change the distribution method in favor of other ideas because Byteball's price tanked over the fall. And it was because of the way the distributions were done, because big Bitcoin whales were getting shares of it. They were dumping it on the market and the price tanked. But that announcement that Tony made in early December was I think it was on the Bitcoin Talk forum, a few other places. My point is that new buyers that came in after January, after Byteball started coming up again, likely did not see that little fine print about the distribution being tentative. And sure, you can go back and say, well, the buyer beware, the buyer has a responsibility to be duly diligent. But at the same time, you have to understand that people are people. And there were a lot of people that came into Byteball in the last month and a half that expected that distribution, expected to get 10% more on the full moon. And yes, they're mistaken, but the fact of the matter is now, those people are pissed. They feel like they got bait and switched, and they dumped out of the market, and they fudded the market. They fudded the project as they left, calling it a shit coin, calling it all types of things. So in hindsight, at the very least, can we learn from this? Can we learn not to expect the best from people? I mean, and I think this speaks to a lot of other ideas in Byteball, and ideas that that Tony has kind of dismissed. Number one, changing the name of the project. I've heard "bite my balls" from so many people on Facebook who support like Ripple and IOTA. And I'm like, okay, Byteball's not a good name. It's like, what, Byteball? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? So at least consider this rebranding, since worked pretty well for Nano, didn't it? So at least consider that point. And also the way the price is listed. Now, I don't know what it would take to have the price listed in megabytes instead of gigabytes, but there's a lot of dumb money in this space that buys up cheap coins because they're cheap. Why not appeal to that? And then the reason he gave was like, people are used to trading it against Bitcoin and it's smaller. It's like, Tony, we love you. You made this wonderful piece of software that has so many use cases and we're behind you. But we sort of feel like you're one of those guys whose head is in the computer and in the code and lost in idealism. And dumb money is stupid. And dumb money is greedy. And there are so many things that could be done better with the Byteball project. Let's take you over to us. You know what? I'm gonna, while I'm talking here, I'm gonna pull up the website with the details of the Byteball distribution, because I want to kind of talk about them one by one, what I like about them, what I don't. And you guys get to listen to my dog bark. Buddy, that's enough, man. Come on now, I'm in the video. Don't do it. There's another dog in the neighborhood just going ballistic right now. And yeah. Buddy, hush puppy, go lay down. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So he's on patrol. Like he's at the door, like listening for any sound. Any sound he hears, he's just gonna keep going. Okay. All right, guys. He'll shut up in a second. Let's just get right into this here. Okay. Buddy, I'm gonna kick your ass. Go lay down. You don't need to be on patrol. You're a golden retriever. You're not a guard dog. Go lay down. Good boy. I don't know if you can hear him laying down with a little. All right, so cash back for purchases at merchant stores who partner with, in most cases that offered cash back, is 10% of the purchase amount. First of all, invest some money in someone who can write good English. I'm not saying that to be critical of you as a person or insult your culture or anything, because Lord knows if I tried to speak the language you speak, I would botch it to shit. But it's a matter of professionalism. And this doesn't read like something that's refined. It doesn't read like something that has people involved in it. It reads like something that was poorly translated. It doesn't look good. I read this for purchases at merchant stores we partner with. In most cases, they offer cash back. This could be worded better. I'm just saying. Now, my other criticism of this, merchant stores we partner with, you know, that sounds great if Byteball or cryptocurrency were money people actually used. But right now, 99% of cryptocurrency is a speculative thing. It's people buying it going, hey, maybe this will be worth more. I mean, okay, you can tell me, fine, you know, we're going to eventually use it for stuff. That's the fundamental value of crypto, is all the use cases. I get that. There's no argument there. But it ain't going to be for a minute, and we have to accept that. Now, verification rewards and referral rewards to those who verify their real name, fine. Encourage people to verify their identity so they can do legitimate business on the platform if that's the way they want to do it. If you want to remain anonymous, you have the option. So if you want to reveal your identity, go right ahead. I like that you have that option. There you go. Now, do I necessarily believe in rewarding it with part of the distribution? I guess. I mean, I guess I like it because it could, in the future, encourage like larger companies and stuff to use Byteball. So I like this one. I do. Given distribution through YouTube channels of our supporters. See this.
Hi guys, how are you doing today from Switzerland, from Zurich? You see Credit Suisse behind me. Perfect opportunity to talk about real money. I will tell you today why I invested in Byteball, why I like Byteball. Let's start with giving away some Byteball.
Okay, I get what they're going after. Giving away shares to people making promotional content. So it encourages like decentralized advertising. Okay, I like it. Mass sending of text coins to subscribers of our partners. Guide to sending payments to large cars, basically, there's this. Okay. I mean, again, this sounds, I don't want to get too far into it because you guys can do this on your own time, but I like parts of this, but now we're going to come back over to the actual camera here and really get into this. I like all those things. I'd like them a hell of a lot more if people actually use cryptocurrency. If cryptocurrency actually did something, and it really doesn't right now. I mean, unless you were sending money to another country or you're doing something online you're not even supposed to be doing, why are you really going to use cryptocurrency? You can't use it at the store. You can't, you know what I'm saying? So we can go on and on all day about how one day this technology will work so well and this currency will be this, that, and the other. And I'm with you guys on that. I think that ultimately cryptocurrency could really redefine money, but these things take time. These things take decades, and we're just not there yet. So for the short term with Byteball, I think we need to get away from the idealism and get back to the practicality and learn from what other projects have done. I've said this before, that Nano and IOTA came a long way by building partnerships, by getting on more exchanges, and by advertising and marketing. And then when you read what Tony said recently, in that we didn't need to dedicate more of the distribution to marketing, that just blew my mind. That was really the most disappointing thing about this whole event, is when Tony said that it wasn't necessary to do that. And I think to myself, what in God's name are you talking about, man? No disrespect, but what in God's name are you talking about? Because, he talks about wanting to recruit new users and new holders, and maybe he means people who are actually using the coin for more than just owning it. But once again, that's too idealistic. To get attention to the program, it needs to be listed on more exchanges. I've stressed this so many times on the Slack and my other videos. If you don't have an account on Bittrex, it's hard for you to get Byteball. What would be the best way to get more people involved with the project? Gee, I don't know. Have it listed on more exchanges. Make it available to people who might want to buy it. Make the investment. Do the application. I read about what you need to do to get listed on Binance. You need to, send an email and get reviewed. But whatever it takes, put those wheels in motion. And I was about to say let the community know, but maybe that's something you shouldn't tell the community because of what can happen to the price and so on. But start making it happen, because that is such a top priority to increase the availability. And the advertising. You go and you search for IOTA on YouTube, you get tons of videos. You search for Nano, same thing. Byteball, you see me. You shouldn't see me. I'm some random blue-collar guy in my living room doing videos on a $25 webcam, and I don't know how to even do any sort of professional anything. Why, when you type in Byteball to YouTube, do my videos come up on the first search? They shouldn't. There should be hundreds of well put together, crafted videos about Byteball, or maybe not hundreds, but at least dozens, and there's not. And at this point, as a community, holders of Byteball, what are we doing here? Are we just sitting back, just waiting for Tony and the few people involved with it to make all the decisions? And it kind of seems like that. I'm reading through the Bitcoin Talk forum in the Slack, and there seems to be these guys who, any decision Tony makes, they're like, well, Tony makes the right decision here. It's like, get off his nuts, you fanboys. I hate fanboys, even if they're fanboys of the project that I'm on, because that type of behavior tells me that you just got into this a month ago and you don't even know what it's about. You're just hopping on the nuts of everything, trying to bolster up your investment. And that's the type of nonsense I thought Byteball was trying to get away from. But no. Look, we have an obligation in this community to get our voices heard. and we have the ability to advertise it ourselves. Whether it be a share on your social media, a half an hour learning how to use like my Forest Render or whatever easy software you can make little videos with, making a video yourself. Even like a paid advertisement on Facebook, and that actually might not be possible now with like Facebook's policies, but if you have shares of something, maybe invest like a little 20 bucks, do a little advertising. And it may seem like it doesn't amount to much right now, but it can add up. And we also need to get a roadmap going here. Where is the Byteball plan of action? Where's the roadmap? What are we as a community trying to do? I don't need Tony and the team to come out and say, this is what we're trying to do and it's all in place. If he came out and said to the whole community, guys, this is what we'd like to accomplish as a community, I'd like to see that. But right now it just seems like it's centralized and micromanaged. You ain't going to get nowhere like that. You're going to have to change. And I'm disappointed with it because it is such good technology. The wallet software works. There's so many use cases. The ICOs on the DAG platform, no other crypto has that. So I mean, all the reasons I still own my shares, and I don't plan to sell them. You know, I'm not somebody who dumped all their shares and is now fudding Byteball. I'm not doing that. I still own it. I'm hoping that you guys can see this video. You might agree with me. And hopefully we can get this project turned around because it has the potential. I mean, just imagine if it were listed on 5 different exchanges, all the shares were distributed. It had even more use cases because the development was there. And we'd have a $10–20 billion market cap. It's completely possible. And I feel like it was possible until you made that decision you just made. And now we're going to have to sit and wait for a month, 2, 3 months, and maybe never because of what you did. And I don't mean no disrespect by this, I really don't. But all you got to do is look at the chart and look at the forums and look at what everyone's saying about it. The decision to cancel March distribution was a mistake. There's no question about it at all. You can make all the arguments that, oh, well, he knew what he was doing, that it would have depreciated the market. I think the news depreciated it more than the distribution would have. Come on, be honest. He needed to let the distribution go, and he needed to put the news that it was going to be canceled after that. Let's learn from that mistake. Let's go forward. Let's make Byteball happen. Come on, guys. That's all I got.